Hey Pisces, welcome to the channel. I hope you're all doing well and thank you for your patience. This is going to be your love reading, Pisces. It is a timeless reading, so whenever you click on this message is when it is meant for you. The strongest messages will always come through, so if this doesn't resonate, don't make it your story, don't make it fit Pisces. With personal readings, it is a lot more detailed and obviously a lot more personable because I'm reading one or two people's energies. Uh, with these general readings, the strongest messages will find their way to me first for someone that needs to hear them. Okay, so love, not necessarily romantic love. We'll see what comes through today. But any relationship, any situation where you share or that you share the energy of love with. So it could be family, friendships, work, colleagues at work that you are particularly close to. So take it as it resonates, Pisces. Okay, let's begin. Spirit for the sign of Pisces, Sun and strong placements. Messages of guidance for the energy of love. Messages of guidance for the energy of love. Happy birthday, Pisces. Sorry about that. Forgot to put my phone on silent. Happy birthday, Pisces. I hope you are having an amazing birthday season and it's almost over. It has been quite an intense Pisces season, a lot of deep diving. Okay, let's see. Nine of Swords. Some overthinking here, maybe Pisces, but it's mental. Five of Cups. That's feeling a loss of some kind. It's a sense of boredom. It can also be low-key depression. You are overthinking something here, Pisces, and it's also a leak of emotion that's going on with the situation. Let me just get the other cards. Five of Swords. Wow. Okay. There's definitely a lot of overthinking going on here. The Hangman, which is your card, and the Shadow Side. Wow. You could be walking away from something here, Pisces, to protect your emotions. It feels like emotional overload, to be honest. And even though you are a water sign, emotional overload can be extra intense for you because of that. You have been trying to rationalize or intellectualize the situation, but it's not helping. So I feel like you've needed to pull back. We'll clarify just now, but the cards that have shown up are the Nine of Swords energy. So this is an energy of anxiety, sleepless nights. It can also be lingering thoughts of fear or guilt or shame that keep you up at night. I know I have had sleepless nights like that, especially with fear or guilt about something. It's spiraling mentally, and it is overthinking, but it's an unhealthy form of overthinking here, Pisces, that's causing some anxiety in your space and maybe some sleepless nights as well. It's being stuck in the headspace, being stuck in the mind, and trying to rationalize a situation. But not everything can be rationalized. And again, another swords card. Five of Swords is listening to all, the voices in your mind. There are many different, various opinions. You seem to be going through a storyline in your mind, Pisces, about something that might not necessarily be true at all. But it is a form of melancholy or following a storyline and believing it and allowing it to impact your emotions in some way without having all the facts. And maybe it's because you aren't in communication with this person that you are having to make up a narrative about what's going on. But there's a need to get out of your headspace, Pisces, because it is not serving you right now. It's creating this kind of energy, which is the energy of Scorpio, also your fellow water sign. But looking at what has been lost, those days where, they say lean into gratitude, be grateful, count your blessings. There are those days where you simply just cannot. And the things that are happening around you are too overwhelming to go into a place of gratitude. And that's why I say low-key depression, because when someone is depressed, and it's in the word itself, it's in the description of the word, it feels like you are under a lid of some sort. There is no capacity, there is no room for positive thinking or gratitude in that moment. And it often feels like there is no hope. That is, depression, what it feels like. This is a low-key depression, so it feels like you go into moments like this, which is related to your thinking about something, Pisces. There's something that you are overthinking right now that's causing this feeling. And it's funny because I said this has been an intense Pisces season. It has been about deep diving. It has been about going into the subconscious. And if you look at this moth in this depiction of the Five of Swords, moths for me are always about the subconscious. What is hidden is now being illuminated. So you could be going through an emotional release as well, Pisces, or a thought release. It would help to ventilate the mind a little. And you can do that through writing, through journaling. It gets all of those thoughts uncensored out onto paper so that you have more capacity to trust your intuition again. Because I do feel like your intuition is blocked at this moment. And it is blocked because you are sitting in the limbic system of the brain, which is the deeper structures that govern fear, that govern anxiety, that governs our primal instinct as well, and our instinct to react, also governing the emotion. So there could be, something going on in that region. That's the amygdala, the hypothalamus. Um, so to get out of that region of the brain, you need to be able to ventilate what's coming up. And that's through some kind of meditative practice. For some of you, it could be running, it could be jogging, journaling as well, moving your body so that you quiet the mind. There's definitely a reason to quiet the mind here. So the Hangman is your card. It's your major arcana. Your spirit guides, your angels, your ancestors have been trying to access you. And this is why, they say when you are, feeling low, um, and heavy and, depression, anxiety, it's very difficult to connect because the part of your brain that connects has to have the capacity to do that. And so if you are in survival mode, it's not going to activate that part of the brain that is responsible for intuition, for creativity, to have the capacity to download and to receive messages from spirit. You need, or what they are saying is there's a pause that is needed here, or a separation from the situation, so that you can start opening up your crown energy, your crown area again, the crown space, to receive intuition and guidance from source. Because they are trying to reach you. You might have been seeing signs and synchronicities as you usually do, but not registering them in the state of mind that you're currently in. The shadow side is, you could be doing some deep emotional shadow work as well. There could be, past situations, emotions that were trapped coming to the fore again to be released. Pisces. Trapped emotion happens when we don't go through the full emotional process of release, and that usually, typically happens when we experience some level of trauma. And for everyone, trauma is defined differently. It's how you receive a situation. But with emotional release, you have an emotion, you acknowledge it, the body feels the emotion, and then it is released in some way, sometimes through tears, which is an important way for the body to release overwhelm. Because tears contain oxytocin and other hormones that are released. It's like interesting when some people, when they get angry, they can also start crying, like myself, like when I am incredibly frustrated or angry. And it's the body's way of creating a, pressure release. It's like a pressure valve. I do feel, yeah, the shadow side could be, and if you've done any Jungian work, that's looking at um, the shadow parts of ourselves, which are not negative parts, they need to be integrated. They were created because of the need to fit in, the need to survive. So they have a purpose. But if we suppress them, and yes, that's what I was talking about, the trapping of emotion, they will come out or resurface at a later stage, either through physical manifestation or, come through again from the subconscious to the conscious mind to be acknowledged and then to be released or integrated into wholeness. We aren't just pure light, Pisces. It is our dark and our light that makes us whole. And it's about understanding that shadow side and understanding why it is there and how to bring it to light, how to transmute it to light, how to choose differently, how to think differently. Um, that is the shadow side. It could also be that you are experiencing psychic attack. For some of you, that could be saboteurs, entities, um, curses, and I don't necessarily mean black magic. Sometimes this is not intentional. But with light as well, and with everything going on in the world, there is, an underlying battle between good and evil. As esoteric as that sounds, it's on an energetic level as well. And light workers or people that have or carry a lot of light, and all of us do, some of us just embody it more. Certain energies are drawn to that. And you could also be experiencing that, which would also be explaining the anxiety or sleepless nights, depending on the time that you are waking up as well. You could be waking up at the same time every day. I also do body emotion code readings, so and it looks at offensive energy. If this is resonating for anyone, and if you'd like to look into what is, causing this. That's a very specific message for some of you. For others, it could just be, this is the devil card. It could just be this energy of overthinking. Because the devil card doesn't mean to represent the actual devil or the archetype of the devil. And it doesn't mean that you're possessed. It can also mean, when we lean into extremes one way or the other. And this could be related to your overthinking right now, Pisces. Something is emotionally overwhelming you. It feels like you are a bit frozen in the situation. Can you please provide some guidance for Pisces here, Spirit? What is actually, or further information to what is going on here for Pisces? And now I feel like I can feel, okay, any signals, entities, frequencies, vibrations that are not aligned with my source are not welcome here. All non-consensual access is now purged and sealed. I will also put this affirmation in the posts on the channel, Pisces, so that you can repeat it. If there is something that you feel that is interfering, psychic attack could also be someone that is thinking of you negatively, and you will be sensitive to that. Someone that's thinking of you negatively and, maybe consistently as well, maybe stalking your social media, observing you. That energy can create a cord, and it can also create psychic attack and can feel like a physical presence sometimes. You could be having nightmares as well. Just remember also to clear your space, Pisces, with sage or Palo Santo or frankincense, whatever resonates for you and your faith. Salt is really good, so salt baths. And, this is nothing to be feared. In fact, it's quite common, actually. In the work that I do, I experience this almost every day. But there are ways to protect and ways to clear this energy, Pisces. If you want to reach out, my personal details are in the description box below. You could also be feeling a heaviness around your eyes and your crown. It is important for you to connect to spirit right now. You are definitely moving away from something here, Pisces, which is a good sign because it's a progression from the Five of Swords. So it's moving to calmer waters. There is going to be a reprieve here and release, spiritual release. This feels like a spiritual awakening or transformation, like the dark night of the soul. This could very well be, for some of you, this dark night of the soul, which is the shadow work. And it's what Eckhart Tolle talks about, what triggered his awakening. Um, this feels like a spiritual awakening. Energy of Taurus here, the Hierophant, the High Priest. You could also be dealing with a Taurus, but this could definitely also be a spiritual awakening here for some of you. And there's not just one spiritual awakening, repeating message. There's not just one spiritual awakening. Sorry, Pisces, let me just come back to that. Repeating message here. This is mental conflict, but it's self-inflicted. It is self-inflicted. It could also be post-hypnotic suggestion. So if there is the presence of an entity, they usually come with post-hypnotic suggestions, which come in the form of statements, like, and you can pick that up as intrusive thoughts like, I'm not worthy, or I'm not good enough, I'm a fool, I will be rejected, I'm not accepted. Those kinds of messages, which we can also manifest ourselves, but it could be related to external energy. And this could be coming from your workplace for some of you, or something to do with your work. You could be, a spiritual worker, healer, working with the light. Even if you have a corporate job, you could be a light worker. And the energy, energy of envy, energy of jealousy, anything wanting to bring you down or prevent you from doing the work that you do. It feels like this energy, has been attacking quite strongly, especially during the Pisces season. But I just heard you will overcome this, and the card that fell out was the High Priestess, which is your energy. That is your energy. And so, when we are open to light, we are also open to other energies. When you are channeling, when you are downloading, you are open to all kinds of energies. So it's very important that you protect yourself, Pisces. Imagine a bubble of light, golden light around you, and that nothing can penetrate that. You can also imagine Archangel Michael, going behind you wherever you go, especially into spaces where you feel that the energy is thick and heavy. Only jumpers, please, and thank you. And lean on your friends and social circles. If you're part of a prayer group as well, that's important. But leaning in on your friends, on your social circles during this time, and tapping into the heart space, Pisces, so you don't stay stuck in your head. So feeling whatever it is that is coming up, King of Cups, card of Scorpio. It's a very different energy to this Scorpio energy, because Scorpio can spiral into the dark depths, which is sometimes necessary, not for prolonged periods of time, but it's necessary to go there to bring back the medicine that you need. And then, sitting with it in a very steadfast, grounded way. It's not that the King of Cups doesn't have any, or doesn't express his emotion. There's a lot of emotion going on here. It's just that he's integrating it and using it to enhance his intuition, to make decisions that are not just, based on intellect and also on false information, to ground into the heart space and into the gut center as well. And to release the flow of emotion, everything that is coming up for you, Pisces. This could be about home and family for some of you. Yeah, again, feeling trapped in your mind is what I'm getting from this Pisces. I just want to sorry, Pisces, I wanted to get a card from the Angel and Ancestors deck for you as advice. Hold the space. Leo got this as well. And stand your ground at the bottom of the deck, which is also the Druid energy, because it is about the tree. It's about strong roots, and nothing can uproot a strong tree. Hold things together. Don't make any sudden moves or changes. Stand strong, knowing you are where you are supposed to be. That's interesting, that stand strong, because at the bottom of the deck is the mountains card. Stand your ground. The Druids were the ancient wise ones of the British Isles. They had a deep connection with the earth, the sun, and the moon. They were the scholars who created the Ogham tree language, and they were known for their creative skills in storytelling, poetry, and craftsmanship. When the Druid card appears in a reading, you're being guided to dig deep within and hold your station. If you're wondering what to do next or have a sense of anxiety about what is unfolding in your life, it's time to shift your perceptions. Exactly, the Hanged Man. Look at things from a different perspective and trust and move back to a state of trust. Exactly, it's back to a state of trust and connecting with Source. Don't change your plans or do anything drastic. Just trust in the process and let everything happen as it needs to before taking any more steps. Think of a tree. It has strong roots, yet continues to grow and bear fruit. Your life will be a reflection of this. So maybe some grounding is also needed, Pisces. Some grounding energy here. Because when we are untethered, it's also a lot easier for external energy to attach. When we are tethered and rooted and grounded, it is a lot harder for these energies. All right, Pisces, that was quite a heavy reading. And again, if it's not your story, don't make it your story. Don't make it fit. If this has resonated and you need any support, to help clear or to help you through this process, my details are in the description box below, Pisces. Sending you so much love. Until next time.